G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, and we are back with another episode of Zoria Age of Shattering Prologue. When last we left off, we were camping here at the top of this little zigguratty thing down in the very depths of this dungeon thing that we're in, which is all very confusing. Pack up and leave. And we've got this golem over here, which is probably going to be a ridiculously annoying battle. Best to leave it undisturbed. Okay, so if we have to leave it undisturbed, maybe there's a way that we can disable it at some point later to get through that door. So we did skip past a lot of the stuff down on the ground. I was anxious to see if you could shortcut your way through certain things. Okay, the orb is supposed to go on that pedestal. Okay. Does that... No. But does that mean we need to find another orb? Okay. Right, well there's a spider and some other stuff over that way, so maybe we'll do that first and then we'll come back around this way and see what else is around the area. I'm a little bit hesitant to come through here in the spider web, but I don't see anything over that side. What about over there? No, nothing. Two whopping great big spiders there. Poisoned and unconscious. Joy. Gotta like that. You're not going to be able to attack from there, so let's move you right in so that you can attack either one. Oh, I meant to try out the lightning storm. Okay. Precision arrow. Here we go. Did that kill it? Again, I would like a combat log so that I have a better idea as to what is actually going on. Move. Oh, no, see, I thought... I wasted a turn moving because I thought I was this guy rather than that guy. I know there's the little green things underneath them, but not in range. Okay. No. Lightning storm's not a good idea when no line of sight. Fine. Move over to there. Now you're in range to use that. And... was that no line of sight or was that no range? No line of sight. Move up to there. That's probably not going to be any better, is it? Not in range. No line of sight. Fine. Go there. And you'll have to use it next turn. Okay. Got to move you in. Okay, the problem now is that it sort of seems like you have to pretty much rest after every fight. Because there's no way to heal outside of battle except for using a potion, which we do have some, but like getting rid of the negative status effects, the poisons that these guys have got on them, doesn't seem to be possible without resting. And quite frankly, we seem at the moment to be getting mauled so badly in every single fight that we're in that if we don't rest between them, we're not going to survive. Rest. I didn't want to rest for just 1 hour, thank you. I wanted to rest for as long as necessary. So yeah. A game where you have a fight, you then have to rest for 8 hours and go to the next fight. I mean, I don't want the game... It's a hard thing to balance, because you don't want the fights to be so ridiculously easy that you just get bored with it. Classic example. Is he showing that we need to go back that way? What's he doing? That's sort of what it looks like. Just want to check that there's no, like, secret doors. There probably is, but who knows. Ooh, we can kick those skulls around. Grab this. I don't know why, but... What's over here? Let's fight these guys. We might as well clear the place out as much as we can. Yeah, as I was saying, there was an old game I played in the 90s, probably, called Menzo Baranzanen, which takes place in the Underdark in Forgotten Realms, and you actually have Dritz Duerden in your party, and you go down to Menzo Baranzanen. I never finished it because it got so incredibly boring. And it got boring because within the space of a couple of hours of gameplay, you went from a first level know-nothing character to someone powerful enough that you were going through the Underdark and just blitzing your way through every creature in there. And it just seemed very, very wrong, very, very weird. It just seemed way too easy. I'm going to move all the way up. There we go. And so that game didn't have the sort of balance I would like. The combats were just ridiculously easy. You were just sort of, you know, a couple of hits and you were taking down hook horrors and all of these, you know, like ridiculous denizens of the Underdark. And there was no challenge to it. So, I mean, I certainly want a game with challenge, but having to rest up for 8 hours, and I mean, part of that is because there is no healers in this game. Well, there is healing. I mean, I can heal myself, you know, not myself. Andar can heal himself or anyone else in the party once he's built up enough discipline, or whatever it's called. You know, whereas in D&D, where you've got, you know, memorized spells and all that stuff, if you finished a battle and everyone was wounded and you wanted to keep going on, if your cleric had enough spells available that he could heal people, well, then you would just heal up and keep going, sort of thing. And so you might be able to get through a few different battles for the day before you had to rest for 8 hours, right? But a game like this where you don't have that, where the only other option you have is something like... I'm going to move her forward and over to the side. Like that. So she's got line of sight and range to a couple of different characters. Have I got... Now I've got bleed on me. God. So, and that won't go away in just like a couple of minutes. I'll have to rest to get rid of that. So again, the game is forcing me to rest a lot. Now, they're giving you a lot of camping supplies, right? So it sort of makes it obvious that that's then the mechanic of the game. You fight and then you rest for 8 hours and heal. But I don't like that in gameplay because, you know, this seems to me, the idea of this adventure seems that, okay, our city has been attacked. There seems to be a level of urgency here in this scenario that you want to get through it quickly. And so I go, well, I shouldn't rest then. I need to get through this. And there's been other games that I've played recently that were like that. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one where it was like, it felt like the little prologue part of the game, it felt like you really shouldn't rest during it because there was a level of urgency to it, but there was nothing to actually stop it, and you could, you know, rest and take whatever time you needed, and it's like, well, that seems to destroy the whole thing of urgency that seemed to be there previously. So the fact that, you know, we are spending days worth of time resting seems to destroy that urgency. So I would like the game to have a different method of being able to heal between combats without so much relying on always forcing you to use the camping mechanic. Okay, so 2 more levels, but look, Garrick is so done in that the only option we've got is to rest. So it's going to be another 8 hours before we can continue on. Getting to the point where I'm considering dumping most of this stuff because I have no idea whether it's there. I also have no idea whether it's whether it is affecting me in any way, whether it's slowing me down, whether it, you know, I don't understand how my weapons are doing the amount of damage they are, and whether there is a better choice, whether if I was to use... Because there's no damage value. I know this is a level 3 sword, this Sword of Crazed Guard, but I don't know how much damage it will do compared to my current one, because it's not obvious in any of this what actually is the thing that is contributing to the damage that I'm doing with my character. Like, I can see my hit chance, I can see my crit chance, I can see my speed, but at nowhere do I see my damage, how much damage I will actually do, and whether changing any of these stats or whether changing to a different weapon will affect that at all. And because I'm assuming there's dice rolls somewhere in the background or some sort of random number generation, I know that it's going to be within a range. But if I notice over time that a certain character has been doing X amount of damage, and I go, okay, that person's doing that amount of, you know, between this and this, I've got to remember that or write it all down and then switch to another weapon and see if that changes or not, to start to get a feel for things. So it would be good if there was more explanation about how all of that worked. And once again, even though I was just talking about not doing that, I am see, even this heal potions, they don't get rid of the deep cuts, and nothing tells me how to fix that. I have no idea if that's better. No idea if that's better. I'm just going to destroy all of this stuff that just appears to be reagents. I don't think it will even let me destroy that, the weapons, but I don't want to do that. I'm just trying to save some space, and I don't know if this encumbrance affects anything. The more stuff you're carrying, does it make it harder for you to hit? Does it affect the amount of damage that you can, negatively affect the amount of damage that you can do? Nothing. No information at all about any of that. So anything here that isn't a directly usable piece of equipment, which doesn't have equip or use as an option for it, I'm just going to destroy right now, because it's just junk that is filling up my backpack and distracting me. And then you watch, I'll get to the next little encounter and it'll say, you need 6 scorpion tails to get through this. And I go, what? I just destroyed the 6 scorpion tails that I'd already picked up. How am I supposed to continue with this now? Or it'll come and say, if you have 2 scorpion tails, 2 bat's wings, and a mountain licorice, you can make this potion. Yeah, well, why didn't you tell me that 6 hours ago? Ah, look at that. Sage. Oh, that's right. That's the staff that I can't use yet because it's level 9. And I don't need all that copper. So let's try and reorganize all of this sort of stuff. It would be nice if there was a button to sort. Oh, look at that. No junk. What do you mean no junk in inventory? Okay, nice and boring while I do all this housekeeping. Right, so we're only carrying 22 items now. So for all I know, there are probably some really good loot items that I could have been using. You know, really good equipment, etc., to make my character super powerful, but I won't know because it doesn't tell me. And I didn't rest, and now Garrick's going to die in this combat. But I'm going to get him in there, right up in their grill. You are going to come over to there so that maybe you've got an angle against him. You are going to go to right there. And then I misclick and do that and waste a turn. Okay. It's actually not that bad. By putting someone around behind them, it does potentially mean that some of the characters might turn around and not attack in this direction. Okay, so Garrick, our tank, is now down. Our ranger is going to be down any second because she's got no health and just got zapped by this thing. But thankfully, that thing is almost dead. So maybe our archer is going to survive long enough where we can get through this combat And then we can rest after we give Eminora, I don't know, a level. She needs more health still. There we go. And did she get a new... No, she didn't get a new ability point. Fine. Let's rest right now before we forget. Garrick's probably not even going to be able to heal up fully. Close. He's saying he wants us to go over this way now. What's over here? Take this path. Does he mean take the path up? Or does he mean go down this way? Because this looks rather dangerous through here. I don't... Can we walk through this green fog, or does this... It looks like we can. And once again, Garrick is up. Hang on. Is there any of these that I can do? I can do taunt. Can I get taunt that gets both of you guys? I think I can. Very good. Not in range. Okay. Anya has another level. Thank you, stranger. I am free. Oh, there we go. We finished that mission. And there's a military war axe over here, which we are going to pick up. Even though we have no idea whether that's any good or not. We're going to pick up all that stuff. And then we're going to throw most of it away in a minute. Okay, nothing else here. I probably don't need to rest. Oh, we had a level, didn't we? So, I'm going to do stamina again because I'm just sick of these guys getting clobbered so quickly. Did she get new abilities? No, she didn't. Let's rest for a little bit, get everyone back up to full. See, even just to get people up to full, we still have to rest for 7 hours rather than 8. Yeah. That's the biggest... Well, there are a few problems with this game, as you've heard me say over the course of the game. Where does this lead where we came down originally? I think it is. Sort of feels like it. Yes, this has to be where we came down. Okay. So I'm a little confused as to what our next option is. There's no way to get through here. There's nothing here. Through the course of all of this, we have pretty much now, I believe, explored everywhere down here. But let's just come back around this way and make sure we've done all of this, have we? No, we haven't done this. Gloves of Wizardry. Stamina and Mastery. She doesn't even have. And surely that would be a better option at level 13. That's why she can't use that. Frenzied Warpwood Warbow. I don't know. I don't know. Without understanding the game mechanics a little bit better, I just don't know how to tell whether that's better or not. 2 archers, skeleton caster, can you attack the caster, please? And he dodged somehow. Watch me, no line of sight. That's bullshit. Now you watch that caster be able to cast a spell against Eminora. You watch. Okay, I deliberately didn't move Ander so that he's in the same position, so that when that caster gets his turn, I want to see if he casts a spell at Eminora, and if he manages to hit her, I'm going to call shenanigans, because, you know, no, he casted her and him. Okay, maybe. that made things worse as far as line of sight goes. I mean, that heal is pathetic. It just doesn't do enough. It should scale in some way, because there's nothing I can do to keep him alive, because this guy's more likely to attack him, Andar, than he is to attack the other characters, because Andar's close to dead. And I've got no line of sight there, so I've sort of got to go to, like, over here, and then he dodges it. So you watch. Yep, attacks and takes him down. And there's no way I could have got around that. I would have had to use up all of my healing potions, which I don't have a hell of a lot of, and I've got to rest again. So let's look at these levels. Yeah, give you prowess. You have another skill. You don't. Who else got levels? You got levels. Sorry, but no. Okay, I'll give you intellect this time. I mean, I know I can spread them out, but there needs to be more information about how this all works for me to understand the best way to do this, and there's not enough information in this prologue to really help with that. So here we go. Time to spend another 8 hours resting to get rid of our bleeds and to get everyone back to full health after a single combat. And we're not even going to get back to full health. I'm probably going to rest 1 more hour to be sure that everyone is 100%. Here we go. Pack up and leave. Okay, there's another journal entry over here. Magical artifact. Glowing red orb. Tainted light pants. Really? This must be the orb. Okay, so now I think the obvious, way that the puzzle here is working is that if we come all the way back over here, I think we've done all of the fights in this lower level now. If we come all the way back over to this side, did we do the fights up here? Yes, we did. If we come all the way back over here to these stairs, we go through that door? Okay, no way to unlock it from here. And we've been down this way. Feels like, yes, we have. Yeah, this was where we met the ghost. That's right. So if we come back up this group of stairs here, we should be able to put the red orb on this other pedestal. Yeah, here. The question will be, is this going to trigger the golem to attack? Or does it just allow us to interact with him, maybe? No, okay, maybe it unlocks the door downstairs or something. There's nothing obviously interactable up here, so let's go back down. Where was that other door? Was it just over here? Again, being able to tilt the camera and in more planes than I can so that I can look off in the distance over here would make it easier for me to remember. Oh, no, the door was over here. Is this unlocked now? it is. And we are saving once again. Now we should get to the bottom of this. This part of the dungeon gives me a bad feeling. We should stay on our guard. The whole garrison was used before during the Great Fiend War, but this room is untouched, unopened for century. The magic locks. This place is not right. The statues, they seem to follow you with their stony eyes. And on that note, I think I'm going to leave it here because that's enough time for this episode. So I hope you are enjoying this run-through of Zoria, the Age of Shattering prologue. If you are, please join me for the next episode. Thanks a lot. Bye.